Setting up a company in Dubai actually ends up costing you a lot more than the tax you save. And if you're planning on setting up a business in the UAE, you can't miss this. Well, firstly, it's important for you to understand that just the maintenance costs of your entity in the UAE, even when you do no business, is anywhere between 30,000 to 50,000 dirhams annually, which translates to 6 to 10 lakh rupees, which means you must absolutely book profits of at least 50,000 US dollars or anywhere between 40 to 50 lakh Indian rupees in the UAE entity annually for there to be any kind of financial sense in you to set up that entity. Now, if you are planning on setting up an entity in UAE, there are three things that you absolutely must consider as a checklist. First, only open the company just 4 to 6 months before you actually have to start operations or work. You should have ready contract or orders. Why? Because the biggest mistake people make is they just set up an entity thinking that sometime in the future they're going to start business, but that business does not start for 2 to 3 years and they end up shutting down the company because it costs so much to maintain it. Second, just setting up a UAE entity does not give you tax benefits. Why? Because if you live in a country like India, recently there have been tax judgments of Tiger Global, of Bini Bansal, by which if you individually are a resident of India, the Indian government can impose taxes on the UAE entity's profits. Why? Because they would say you are living in India and the company is being maintained out of India, which is why it should be taxed in India. So if you have set up an entity there, you have to ensure that there is actual employees, a manager who is a resident of UAE, who's running that company, who's being paid salary. There is an office for it. Then comes the third thing. If your business is in providing services, F&B, hospitality, or selling goods where you need to interact with consumers in an actual physical location, please consider setting up a mainland entity and not a free zone entity. The mistake most people make is to set up a free zone entity is cheaper. But later you will realize you will have to set up a mainland entity and you end up spending a lot more money than you could have easily avoided earlier. I've given a lot more in the description. Share it with someone who may need it.